After the great flood of Prophet Nuh, A.S., humanity began again. The survivors, the children of those who had believed, spread across the earth. Generations passed. People multiplied. They built new lands, planted new crops, and raised families. Among these generations grew a powerful nation. A nation known in history as the people of Ad. The people of Ad lived in a region called Al-Okaf, a vast desert between Yemen and Oman, filled with golden dunes and valleys of stone. They were tall, strong, and beautiful. The Quran describes them as people of great might, unmatched in strength and size. They built giant palaces, tall towers, and massive fortresses. Their city was known as Iram, the city of pillars, with columns so tall they touched the sky. They were proud of their achievements. They ruled the land with power and wealth. But over time, they became arrogant. They forgot the teachings of Allah. Instead of worshipping the one true God, they began to carve idols from stone and wood. Idols they named Samd, Shira, and Hobba. They believed these idols could bless them, protect them, and bring rain. And slowly, their hearts turned away from Allah. So Allah, out of His mercy, sent to them a prophet from among their own, a man named Hud, A.S. Hud, A.S., was noble, wise, and respected among his people. He loved them dearly and wanted to save them from the path of destruction. One day, he stood before them and said, "O my people, worship Allah alone. You have no God but Him. Will you not fear Him?" He reminded them of Allah's blessings. Remember how Allah made you successors after the people of Nuh. He increased your strength. He gave you gardens, homes, and wealth. So remember Allah, and do not spread corruption on the earth. But instead of listening, the people of Ad laughed. They said, "Hud, you were once among us, respected and wise. Now you claim to be a messenger of God." They mocked him. They said, "Have our idols harmed you? Do you want us to abandon the gods of our forefathers because of your words?" Hud, A.S., replied calmly, "I am no fool. I am a messenger from the Lord of all worlds. I only wish to guide you. I do not ask for any reward. My reward is with Allah, who created me." But their hearts were filled with pride. They said proudly, "Who is stronger than us?" They believed that their power and their cities made them invincible. They had forgotten that strength comes only from Allah. Hud, A.S., continued to preach, year after year, calling his people to truth. He warned them that Allah's punishment would come if they didn't repent. But they refused to listen. Then Allah sent them a warning. The rain stopped. For the first time in generations, the skies above Al-Okaf became dry and empty. The winds turned hot and harsh. The rivers dried up. Their crops withered. Their animals grew weak. Hud, A.S., said to them, "Seek forgiveness from your Lord. He will send rain from the sky and increase your strength." But they mocked him again. "It's just a drought, Hud. We will survive. We always do." Their pride blinded them to the truth. One day, after years of warning, a strange dark cloud appeared on the horizon. The people of Ad saw it and began to shout in joy, "Look! A cloud! Rain is coming." They ran into the open, laughing, dancing, believing their prayers to their idols had been answered. But Hud, A.S., stood silently. He looked at the sky with sadness in his eyes. He said, "This is not a cloud of mercy. This is a cloud of punishment." Narrator, deep tone, storm sounds fade in. Then it began. From that dark cloud came a roaring wind, so fierce that it shook the ground. The Quran describes it as a furious roaring wind that Allah unleashed upon them. It came in waves, one after another, tearing through their lands, lifting sand and stone high into the sky. Their tall towers crumbled, their homes shattered. The wind lifted men like dry leaves, throwing them lifeless across the desert. It howled without rest, for 7 nights and 8 days. It destroyed everything it touched. The mighty people who once said, "Who is stronger than us?" were now powerless, swept away by the very air they breathed. But Hud, A.S., and the few believers who had followed him, they were safe. Before the storm began, Allah commanded them to leave the city. They took shelter far from the land of Ad. They watched from a distance as the storm raged, hearing the screams, seeing the dust rise high like mountains. Then, silence. When the wind finally stopped, there was nothing left. The once great nation of Ad was gone, buried beneath the sand. Only ruins remained, a reminder to all who came after. Hud, A.S., returned to what was left of his people's land. He looked upon the ruins, broken pillars, scattered stones, and the endless silence of the desert. He said, "My people denied their Lord." So away with the people of Ad. Hud, A.S., and his followers then migrated to another region, where they lived peacefully, worshipping Allah alone. They taught their children the lessons of what had happened, so that arrogance would never take root again. The story of Prophet Hud, A.S., is not just history. It is a message, a timeless reminder from Allah to all of humanity. Allah mentions their story in the Quran many times. And as for Ad, they were arrogant upon the earth without right. They said, "Who is stronger than us?" Did they not see that Allah, who created them, is stronger than them? Surah Fussilat 41:15. And again, in Surah Al-Far, "Did you not see how your Lord dealt with Ad? With Iram, the city of lofty pillars, the like of which was never created in the land." 89:6-8. These verses stand as a warning that no matter how strong a people become, when they forget Allah, their strength becomes their destruction. There are many lessons in this story. First, never let pride take over your heart. The people of Ad thought they didn't need Allah. Their pride made them blind. And pride is the root of downfall, whether for nations or for individuals. Second, true strength is in faith, not power. Hud, A.S., stood alone against thousands, yet he was the strongest among them, because his heart was with Allah. Third, Allah's mercy always comes before his punishment. 4 years, Hud, A.S., called them with kindness and patience. He gave them every chance to repent, but they chose to turn away. And finally, every blessing is a test. Wealth, health, and success can be blessings, but they can also destroy us if they make us arrogant. Today, the ruins of Ad lie buried beneath the sand. Their once great city now nothing but dust. But their story lives on in the Quran. A message from Allah to you and me. When we walk on this earth with pride, when we think we are too strong, too rich, too powerful, we must remember the people of Ad. Because in the end, it is not the towers we build or the armies we lead that matter. It is the humility in our hearts, and the faith that connects us to Allah. Hud, A.S., was one man. But his message was eternal. I put my trust in Allah, my Lord and your Lord. There is no creature on earth but He controls it. Surely, my Lord is on the straight path. Surah Hud 11:56.